keep on saying that I'll fix it soon, but yet nothing actually changes. You keep on telling yourself, I'll fix it soon. And every time you say that, you feel a little bit better about yourself in that little moment there. You get that excited feeling of dopamine, of a little bit of motivation. And that's exactly why you say it over and over again, because it takes the pressure off a little bit temporarily. It gives you a temporary escape. It lets you avoid the truth for just that little bit longer. So you tell yourself that I'll sort it this week. I'll get back on it next month. I'll lock in when things finally calm down. You've said that before, not once, not twice, not once, twice, 3 times a lady, but you've said it to yourself dozens of times, over and over again, and nothing actually changed ever. Not your body, not your routine, not your discipline, not your results. They might have changed temporarily for a couple of days while you're locked in, but not permanently, not enough for it to compound. The only thing that changed was the timeline in your head. So let's be real for a second. Saying soon isn't a plan. It's a coping mechanism. Let me say that again. Saying soon isn't a plan. It's a coping mechanism. It's what you say when you know something's off, but you don't want to deal with it right now, but you know it needs sorting out at some point, because dealing with it would actually mean showing up when you don't feel like it, doing what you said you were going to do, following through, taking action, moving forward. And right now, you're just not doing that. Not because you're incapable, not because you haven't got potential, because you've got potential in abundance, but because you've got comfortable breaking your own word to yourself. That's the bit that really stings, knowing you could do more, be more, have more, but now you don't trust yourself like you used to because you've let yourself down on your word too many times. You say that you'll train, but then you don't. You say you'll focus, and then you drift. You say you'll execute, then you avoid it. And it's a never-ending cycle. It never changes. And every time that happens, you lose that little bit more of self-respect to yourself. And so you start questioning yourself if you can even take action. It doesn't even happen at once in a dramatic Hollywood blockbuster type way. It happens slowly, quietly, until it just becomes normal. Now you expect yourself to fall off. Now you expect the reset to come. You expect yourself to fall off. So you don't take the action with any intent. You expect the inconsistency. That's become your new baseline. And from the outside looking in, nobody sees it because on paper you've got a good life. You earn money, you train occasionally, you've got friends, you've got a social circle. To everybody else, it looks like you're still doing all right. But inside, you know, else you wouldn't have clicked on this video today. You know where you should be. You know where you could be. You know that you've been stuck in the same loop for way too long. You know you've been saying soon for way too long. And that's what actually drains you, because bit by bit it breaks you down. It's not the work that you can't handle, it's not the pressure, it's the disconnect between what you know you could do and what you're actually doing, between what you say you're going to do and between what you actually do. Because that gap destroys a man faster and more impactfully than failure ever will or failure ever could, because failure is actually clean. You know where you stand, you know where you went wrong, you know what you need to improve for next time. But drifting's quiet and it's dangerous, because you wake up, you do your day on repeat, and you tell yourself that you'll fix it and lock in and make the changes that you need to do. And then you go back to repeating that same day over and over again. Nothing breaks, but nothing improves in a meaningful way. So you just stay there, exactly where you are, treading water, not moving forward. And every time you say, I'll fix it soon, you're choosing that. You're choosing to stay exactly where you are, not because you have to. You're not staying there because you have to. You're staying there because you haven't made a real decision, a concrete decision, a non-negotiable decision. And that's the truth. That's the harsh reality of it. You just haven't decided that you're going to do more. You've thought about it. You've definitely thought about it. You've talked about it to yourself and to anybody but will listen. And you've even made a few half-hearted plans, but you haven't decided in a concrete way, because a real decision looks different. A real decision has some kind of concrete action attached to it. No delay, no negotiation, just I said I'd do it, so I'm going to do it. And right now, you're not doing that, are you? You know you're not. That's why you've clicked on this video today, and that's why you're still watching now. You know that part's missing. And until you get that piece back in place, nothing's going to change. And here's where it's going to get uncomfortable, so keep watching the video. Because the longer you stay like this, the more that version of yourself becomes who you are in a permanent way. It becomes that part of your identity. You'll become the guy who starts and then stops, who makes a plan and then avoids taking action on the plan. The man who knows but doesn't act. And once that becomes your permanent identity, you stop expecting more from yourself. And that's how days, weeks, months, and ultimately years disappear. Not in one big collapse, but in those little small delays day to day. Saying to yourself that I'll fix it soon. Saying to yourself that I'll get back onto it soon. That I'll sort it out. Or I can have one day off here, it doesn't really matter. Then all of a sudden, 6 months gone by. Then another year's gone by. And you're looking back and thinking, fucking hell, time's going quick. My life's not really changed properly in the last 10 years. I've been living the same day on repeat. The same conversations going round and round in your head. So let me ask you something properly. When is soon? Not in theory, not in your head, but in reality. In day-to-day reality. When is it? Because I don't know. Because if it's not today, then it's not real. If you can't decide an action that you're going to do today that will move the needle forward in a meaningful way and get momentum hitting, then it means nothing. And that's exactly why this hits so hard. Because what I'm saying to you here isn't new information. This is something you've been avoiding admitting. So here's the shift. I want you to move from information to transformation, because you don't need motivation or any more information. You need implementation and transformation. You don't need another Monday morning reset. You need to stop giving yourself a way out when things aren't easy to do or you're feeling some kind of resistance to doing the work. No more starting next week. No more I'll lock in when things finally calm down. Just today. What actions am I doing today that move the needle forward in a meaningful way? One decision, one action, and then again tomorrow. Across the 3 B's, body, being, business. Because that's how you rebuild what you've lost. And I'm not talking about your fitness. I'm not talking about your mindset. I'm not talking about your business. I'm talking about your self-trust. Because when you can start to trust yourself again, everything changes. Your standards rise. Your consistency stabilizes, and your results, they start to move forward. And once you see those results compounding, you get excited about taking the action. And it's not even because you found some magical plan or a life hack, but because you finally follow through on what you said you would. That's it. It takes your power back. And if you're watching this and you're serious about fixing this properly, not for a week, not just for another feel-good phase for a few weeks, but for good, permanently with a system you can rinse and repeat, then you need structure. Something that removes all the negotiation, something that doesn't rely on how you feel, because emotions are up and down and they change like the weather. You need something that forces you to execute. And if you're ready for that, you already know what to do. Click the link in the description and get your free copy of the alignment blueprint, or comment the word align on this video and I'll send it through to you. But don't watch this video, feel a little hit of dopamine and a little bit of awareness, like, yeah, I know I need to do better, knowing that I'm talking directly to you, and then go straight back to saying, I'll fix it soon, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start on Monday, because that's the real problem. Not your ability, not your potential, the fact that you keep on delaying. And then you see the breakdown across body, being, business. And once you fix your daily systems across body, being, business, and you've got simple actions that get done every day regardless of how you feel, life will just keep on moving forward day after day and compounding. And if you don't know about the law of compounding, it's one of the greatest secrets of the universe. It's not even a secret, it's a commonly known magical power that people just don't implement into their own life. You can see that I'm passionate about this when I talk about it, because I've seen so many men come to me whose lives look good on paper, but they're just feeling off and they can't put the finger on it. And when we put this structure into their life with simple actions daily across body, being, business, the way their life starts to move forward is absolutely beautiful. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to download your free copy of the alignment blueprint. Let's fucking go.